Good day, friends. This is Attorney Robert West. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Topic of this video is Trump's National Guard deployment was ruled illegal by a federal judge in San Francisco. Before we start, just want to thank all the new viewers to the YouTube channel. Really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It's free of charge and it'll help us get to our goal of 2,500 subscribers. All right, let's get into this. So the ruling, as I predicted in an earlier video, was pretty much going to happen this way from the federal judge for a few reasons, but the main two reasons were this. One, Trump's control of the National Guard, the way he did it, violated the 10th Amendment to the Constitution, which basically says all the powers in the Constitution that are granted specifically to the president are his or hers, and everything else is given to the states. Second, Trump did not comply with the rule that says the orders have to go through the governor of the state. Well, Trump just did this. He didn't go through the governor at all. So that is why this judge ruled this way. This was a pretty comprehensive opinion. I don't want to bore you with a lot of super details, but it was like a 36-page opinion, which for a preliminary injunction is pretty darn comprehensive. Now, as always, Trump appealed that and to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. They put a pause on the federal judge's order, and they have a hearing coming up on Tuesday. We don't know if we're going to get a decision out of that, but keep in mind, this is only for a preliminary injunction. This was what the request was by the state of California, a preliminary injunction. But they still have to go through the entire case to do that. But like I said, the federal district court judge spent so much time going over this stuff and kind of gave the government lawyers a lecture because and this is typical for the Trump administration, that they want to do what they want to do. They want to see how far they can push things, and they don't care about complying with rules. It's just not who they are. It starts at the top and works its way all the way through the cabinet and even some mid-level management. So that's where we're at for tonight. Federal judge did order that the deployment was illegal. He ordered control of the California National Guard back to the governor. That's Governor Gavin Newsom of California. The appeals court put a stay on that order till at least Tuesday, where they're going to have a hearing. I should note that two of the three judges on that panel for the appeals court were appointed by Donald Trump. So, and I'm not too familiar with these two judges, so I really can't predict what they're going to do. But I mean, on the face of it, it looks like that it should be the district court judge's ruling should be upheld. But then, of course, it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and then you never know what you're going to get. But that's the problem. I would have on the appeal, if I was on the appellate judge, I think I would rule the other way and say, no, this is pretty comprehensive. We're gonna return control and let the White House go back right to the Supreme Court, because it's damaging. You're playing with these military guys' lives. Remember, these National Guard guys are civilians, basically. They have jobs. And then to call them up, they have to leave their jobs. As you may have seen in some other photos or videos. They didn't even plan for these guys, and ladies. They put them on the floor of the federal building. Didn't have even a sleeping bag. They didn't get them hotels. Didn't get them food to eat. I mean, it was just, they rushed them there, and then just unprepared. I mean, that's how this Trump administration works. The king gives an order, and then everybody jumps, and how high? Yes, sir, no, sir. And then they never plan the stuff out. And the reason why is because you have a bunch of people that are unqualified to be in those roles. Secretary of Defense is completely incompetent. There's no business being in the job. The previous Secretary of Defense was a 4-star general. And the previous one to that was a 4-star general. Picking a Fox weekend host to run the Defense Department, it's idiocy. But you know what? This presidency, as I've said before, is the idiocracy, and that's who they hire. That's who they hire. So that's where it stands tonight. Tuesday, there'll be another hearing. We'll do another video if there's a decision on that. All right, friends. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, please do so. Feel free to comment, like, share. If you want to know when the video comes out, hit that bell icon notification. I know this is a little bit, we're posting a little bit later than we normally do, but, life happens and you have things you got to do. And, this is not, making videos is not my full-time job. So, all right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you.